Welcome to the GotStocks Podcast, powered by IBN. This original audio production delivers market and sector insights, as well as exclusive interviews with innovative executives shaping the future in fast-moving industries, and may feature a client partner of IBN or one of the 60-plus investor-focused brands within IBN's dynamic brand portfolio. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, IBN leverages its extensive distribution network, utilizing multiple proprietary corporate communication tools to introduce both public and private companies to a vast and diverse audience of investors, consumers, influencers, journalists, and other targeted segments of the public. IBN may have received compensation to produce this audio content. Please be sure to read IBN's entire disclaimers for full disclosures. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the next revelatory episode of IBN's GotStocks Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us here again at the GotStocks Podcast, brought to you by the Investor Brand Network. I want you to go to the Investor Brand Network right now, click on the Clients tab, and there in alphabetical order, you are going to find BluSky AI. BluSky AI is traded on the OTC under the ticker symbol BSAI. And we're lucky enough to be joined by the CEO of the company. That's Trent D'Ambrosio. We'll speak to him in just a minute, but before I do, I also want to give you another website. Go to BluSky AI data centers and follow along as we learn about the business model, the markets, and everything you need to know to add this company to your watch list and potentially your portfolio. So with that, Trent, thanks so much for making time for us, and welcome to the show.
You bet, and thanks for having me. Very excited to share the story.
Absolutely. So let's start there. The foundational building blocks of the company. It's got AI in the name, so we know something, but tell us about the company and what you do there.
Data center developers for infrastructure, primarily focused on AI. We've been in this business for quite a while.
Well, and I'm looking at the Investor Brand Network website, and listeners and followers, I want you to go there as well. Look at those investment considerations. If we could, let's take even one step further back, Trent. The AI catch-all umbrella can mean a lot of different things. Within that, you said data centers. So, and you also brought up some of the hurdles you've already had to overcome. Just for the listeners and viewers and followers, specifically within AI, it's a specific focus on data centers, or are there other verticals within that you're working within?
No, specifically data center or data center development, primarily focused on AI infrastructure. For inference or instance computing, we can use the term edge. It's the deliverable product when we use AI, when we service application. We as end users, we need that artificial intelligence to provide us with a deliverable answer or outcome from utilizing artificial intelligence. And that's really what our infrastructure or data centers are designed to do.
Well, very good. So let's take a step back as well and learn about you as our guest. You're the CEO of the company, but as I scroll down, it looks like a pretty strong leadership team that you've put together there as well. Let's start with you and your background, and then tell us about any other key members of the management team.
You bet. Started in data centers late 80s, early 90s. Did some of the first co-location facilities with the large telecom providers. Had my first exposure to data communications at that period of time. Learned all aspects of it. First internet. All those attributes. Became intrigued with that. Worked on the Olympic team. Did some other developments early on. Left that. Did a stint with Montana Power, and did some understanding of how utilities work and the grid and interconnects with that. And that kind of brought us to where we are today with some good experience, and then some other partners in the room. One of our participants, Dan Gay, also has a similar background, early adopter in large telco providers, has the utility background in Montana Power. So he's a member of our team. We do have some outsourced providers as well with extensive experience in the space in our modular developer in a company by the name of BSAI, Data Specialties. They develop modular buildings, and they've been in the business 30 plus years. Another IT provider that's providing the internal operations, and then your usual cast of characters of NVIDIA and HPE and some other providers like that. So feel very comfortable with the maturation of our business plan right now, our partnerships, and our internal team.
Well, let's look at the numbers. The global data center market was valued at $347.6 billion in 2024 and is expected to reach $652 billion by 2030, growing at a CAGR of 11.2%, driven by the rapid expansion of AI, machine learning, IoT, Internet of Things, adoption, according to Grand View Research. So as we look at this year, 2025, which incredibly we are already in the dog days of summer, so about halfway through. Tell us a little bit about what you see as some of the major milestones you and your team have been able to achieve this year.
Our first and foremost was the design and integration of the concept. We took a NVIDIA design and reverse engineered it and made it applicable to a modular building. So that was a huge win for us. It was the network architectures have given it its thumbs up. That's our first modular design. We have now created a second one. The modular designs can go indoor or outdoor, so we can repurpose existing facilities that have power to them today. So we're not stressing that utility system or that grid. We're focused on either a defunct manufacturing site or a new build that has power to it, and we utilize that. And like I said, we can go into an existing building through opening a door or something like that and reutilize that. Then our second was the acquisition of our first land package that has power to it. It's 51 acres and over 9 megawatts of power. So we're very excited about that. And we do have the internal architecture. I'm not going to say perfected. That would be a wrong thing to say at this time, but well developed and engineered, because it changes so quickly now between densities and providers and all those internal attributes. But we're very excited that we're ready to start construction here in the next few months and break ground on our first site. So those are some of our most notable accomplishments here today. We are expanding our team and adding some industry experts, which we're very excited about, which hopefully we can have out to the public in a few weeks or months. But and then additional sites as well. We're looking at multiple sites across the United States that will definitely add to our portfolio. So those are some of our major accomplishments.
Very good. A lot happening so far here in 2025, and you heard it here first, right from Trent. There'll be some big announcements about expansion of the team. So use that ticker symbol again, BSAI. Hit the newswire early and often on this company, and you'll see that news hit, of course, right here at the Investor Brand Network. And I'm looking at how what you just said, I'm looking through the notes here on the profile, and SkyMod modules integrate NVIDIA's GPUs and are optimized for high density AI applications such as generative AI. Another key point I think that I gleaned out of this write-up on your company is rather than betting on individual AI applications, BluSky AI addresses the universal need for compute power, positioning itself as a foundational layer. And as you're talking about with these buildings and what you've been able to accomplish and the land grab that you just did, it's all setting a foundation for a strong 2025 finish as well as into 2026 and well beyond. So Trent, I ask you, what would be some of your personal goals here in the remainder of 2025 and into 2026?
Well, as part of our core business plan, it's speed to market. We can have a deliverable facility within 12 to 18 months. The industry norm is 36 to 60 months to build one of these very large HPC sites, multi-hundred megawatt, multi-hundred acre sites. So we look forward to continue to execute that deliverable to market in a shorter time frame. Secondarily, we're very scalable. We build in 1 megawatt increments. So depending on the site, we're not constrained. We can absorb as low as 1 megawatt and as high as 50. So that scalability is another attribute, and we'll continue to expand on that and come up with different configurations to utilize land and power packages that are available. And then being the ability to be nimble, because they're smaller facilities, we're building with the future in mind versus the end in mind. So we can adapt as we build. We can migrate and shift with the trends in the industry when we talk about density and cooling requirements and necessity for green applications. We're a little more nimble than a very large facility that's built with it, and we're building with the future in mind. So those are some of our focuses. again, additional land packages with power to them, and continue to expand the team. So,
well, I think it's important that you mentioned the trends within the industry and your adaptability. A lot of times when we speak to some of the larger entities, we see that there is that lack of agility for them to make pivots that you can. Another thing that you pointed out early on in this interview is your use of outside entities, which will keep your burn rate down, and not having to have this whole payroll in-house and on staff is going to be valuable for you as well, with that nimbleness as well, and keep your kind of ears to the grind, or not nose to the grindstone, but your ears to the ground to hear what's happening in those trends. And as we look forward, Trent, you're immersed in this industry. What do you see in the AI space that makes you so bullish and so excited about where you're positioned with BluSky?
Simply said, the rapid change. I don't even think we can project or really we can talk about being visionary and seeing the future, but the rate of change is unbelievable. And just the applications as we become early adopters, some of us, and then later adopters, it's a very exciting time. It's definitely, when we're talking about disruptive or changing, it is definitely one of those moments in time that things are rapidly changing, and the speed is very exciting and fun.
Well, excellent. Once again, we are speaking with Trent D'Ambrosio. He is the Chief Executive Officer of BluSky AI Incorporated, traded on the OTC under the ticker symbol BSAI. Go to that website for them, BluSkyAIDataCenters.com. Trent, thanks so much for your time, your insights, your candor about your company. It's a great time for everybody to be learning about your company as you are building out this foundation currently, but it looks like rapid expansion is upon the horizon for you, your company, and your ever-expanding team as well.
That's correct. We're very excited to be a provider in that space, GPU as a service, as the world changes and moves forward and needs more compute. So thanks for the time, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, we look forward to speaking with you again in the future here in 2025. Until then, we expect great things from you and your team here in 2025 and well beyond. Thanks again, Trent. For Trent D'Ambrosio, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for tuning in.
The GotStocks Podcast is an original content production powered by IBN, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers next-generation corporate communication solutions. Utilizing proprietary corporate communication tools such as news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness techniques, among others, IBN introduces both public and private companies to diverse audiences to enhance reach and recognition. IBN may receive compensation for services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of IBN or financial analysts mentioned in this production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities in their own accounts. This production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities that may be mentioned in this production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries inherent investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This production by IBN is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used in statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by IBN as to completeness and accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see IBN's full disclaimers and disclosures at www.ibn.fm/disclaimer. Music in this episode is by Infraction. For more, visit inaudio.org.